two slits in it and either slit is observed, it will not go through both slits. If it's unobserved, it will.
Unobserved. Unobserved.
If it's unobserved, it will. However, if it's observed after it's left the plane but before it hits its target, it will not have gone through both slits.
Slit. Slit.
It will not have gone through both slits.
Fill these out.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Oh, take your time. I'll just finish my crossword puzzle.
Crossword. Crossword.
I'll just finish my crossword puzzle.
Going to generate high IQ offspring? Think about that. I have a sister with the same basic DNA mix who hostesses at Fuddruckers.
Hostess. Hostess.
Mix who hostesses at Fuddruckers.
Sheldon, this was your idea. A little extra money to get fractional T1 bandwidth in the apartment?
Fractional. Fractional.
To get fractional T1 bandwidth in the apartment?
What's the protocol for leaving?
I don't know. I've never reneged on a proffer of sperm before.
Renege. Renege.
I don't know. I've never reneged on a proffer of sperm before.
You want to hear an interesting thing about stairs?
Not really.
If the height of a single step is off by as little as 2 millimeters,
Millimeter. Millimeter.
If the height of a single step is off by as little as 2 millimeters,
2 millimeters? That doesn't seem right.
No, it's true. I did a series of experiments when I was 12. My father broke his clavicle.
Clavicle. Clavicle.
My father broke his clavicle.
One less thing to worry about.
Leonard, I'm no expert here, but I believe in the context of a luncheon invitation,
Luncheon. Luncheon.
Leonard, I'm no expert here, but I believe in the context of a luncheon invitation,
So, what do you guys do for fun around here?
Well, today we tried masturbating for money.
Masturbate. Masturbate.
Well, today we tried masturbating for money.
Oh.
Yeah, well, it's just some quantum mechanics with a little string theory doodling around the edges.
Doodle. Doodle.
With a little string theory doodling around the edges. With a little string theory doodling around the edges. That part there, that's just a joke. It's a spoof of the Born-Oppenheimer approximation.
Spoof. Spoof.
It's a spoof of the Born-Oppenheimer approximation.
Holy smokes.
If by holy smokes you mean a derivative restatement of the kind of stuff you
Restatement. Restatement.
mean a derivative restatement of the kind of stuff you If by holy smokes you mean a derivative restatement of the kind of stuff you can find scribbled on the wall of any men's room at MIT, sure.
Scribble. Scribble.
You can find scribbled on the wall of any men's room at MIT, sure. You can find scribbled on the wall of any men's room at MIT, sure.
What?
Come on, who hasn't seen this differential below here I sit broken-hearted?
Hearted. Hearted.
Who hasn't seen this differential below here I sit broken-hearted? It faces the television at an angle that is neither direct, thus discouraging conversation, nor so far wide as to create a parallax distortion.
Parallax. Parallax.
Nor so far wide as to create a parallax distortion.
I'm a Sagittarius, which probably tells you way more than you need to know.
Yes, it tells us that you participate in the mass cultural delusion.
Delusion. Delusion.
Yes, it tells us that you participate in the mass cultural delusion. Yes, it tells us that you participate in the mass cultural delusion that the sun's apparent position relative to arbitrarily defined constellations at the time of your birth somehow
arbitrarily, arbitrarily,
relative to arbitrarily defined constellations at the time of your birth somehow
Makes you think she wouldn't have sex with me. I'm a male and she's a female.
Yes, but not of the same species.
species, species,
Yes, but not of the same species.
I'm just trying to be a good neighbor.
Oh, of course.
That's not to say that if a carnal relationship were to develop,
carnal, carnal,
that's not to say that if a carnal relationship were to develop,
Hi, sorry. Hello.
Enchanté, mademoiselle.
enchant, enchant,
Enchanté, mademoiselle.
I really think we should examine the chain of causality here.
causality, causality,
I really think we should examine the chain of causality here. B. We drive halfway across town to retrieve a television set from the aforementioned woman's ex-boyfriend.
aforementioned, aforementioned,
From the aforementioned woman's ex-boyfriend. B. We drive halfway across town to retrieve a television set from the aforementioned woman's ex-boyfriend. Query. On what plane of existence is there...
query, query,
Query. On what plane of existence is there...
she asked me to do her a favor, Sheldon.
Ah, yes, well, that may be the proximal cause of our journey, but...
proximal, proximal,
Yes, well, that may be the proximal cause of our journey, but... Yes, well, that may be the proximal cause of our journey, but we both know it only exists in contradistinction to the higher-level distal cause.
distal, distal,
To the higher-level distal cause.
With
We did not break up with Joyce Kim. She defected to North Korea.
to mend her broken heart.
mend, mend,
To mend her broken heart.
Been denied access to the building, ergo we are done.
Excuse me. If I were to give up at the first little hitch, I'd never.
hitch, hitch,
Excuse me. If I were to give up at the first little hitch, I'd never. Yeah. I'm Leonard. This is Sheldon.
From the intercom.
intercom, intercom,
From the intercom.
This is one of my favorite places to kick back after a quest. They have a great house ale.
ale, ale,
They have a great house ale.
Oh my God, what happened?
Well, your ex-boyfriend sends his regards, and I think the rest is fairly self-explanatory.
explanatory, explanatory,
I think the rest is fairly self-explanatory.
In for lunch.
So?
They're both curry-based cuisines.
So?
They would be gastronomically redundant. I can
redundant, redundant,
be gastronomically redundant. I can